together here today to serve the people of Limestone County, help guide and direct us so we make good decisions for the citizens and for our constituents. As always, protect all our first responders, sheriff's department, police departments, and certainly all our armed forces. God, please direct America in the right direction.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one indivisible. Welcome everybody to our meeting today. Let the record show that all the commissioners are here represented, except for Commissioner Anderson, who is under the weather. We have any citizen comments? We don't have any, so we'll move along. And we'll go into our consent agenda. Hoping y'all had a chance to take a look at that.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? That will pass. Let's go to our regular agenda. Number one is discuss and take action on the county burn management. Matt, talk to us.
Yeah, Judge, we're right there. We're at 544, threshold's 575. The Clinton, Falls, Rivera, they've already put theirs on. So, there's a strong argument to go ahead and do it because we're going to be there in a couple of days anyway.
Okay, so historically, we've given the judge permission and he's done it, and every time he's done it 2 days, so I move we put the burn ban on.
I'll second that. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Burn ban is officially back on. Item number 8, we receive and approve a safety report concerning any accidents. I'll ask Commissioner Friday to give us, information.
We have none of the reports, so I think the motion that we do the safety report that needs.
Okay, we have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? No. Item number 9 is accept for record the required monthly operation reports from county officials. I think I've got the in your packet. Is there any county official here that would like to add to or talk to any about their report before we approve those reports? Okay. Does anyone want to make a motion to approve the reports as presented? So moved. Okay, we have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay, item number 10 is going to discuss and take action on a resolution of the intent to establish a Limestone County Cash program. I think that's young lady here to visit with us. Come on up.
Thank you, sir.
You're Charlene, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead and tell us who you are and what we're going to do.
Thank you. My name is Charlene Heidinger. I'm the president of Texas PACE Authority. We are a nonprofit. We administer almost 100 local governments, PACE programs across the state. This is a mechanism that you are encouraged to create that will allow your business owners and nonprofits to access long-term, affordable private financing. You never touch the money, your tax dollars are involved, there will be no impact on your staff. We run the program for you, and we receive our funding from user fees, from owners that voluntarily choose to use it, and from grants. This will enable your businesses to access funding to overcome the barriers to making their properties more energy efficient, and almost more importantly at this point, more water efficient. So we encourage you to establish the program.
This was presented last time I was here, but so I do want to make absolutely sure on the record today that if John Smith got approved for this loan at 100 Main Street and he did not pay that loan back, then the only thing you're going to ask the county to do is to turn it over to the folks that do our collections in McCreary right now, and have them go after that. That's the only thing that we have to do, right?
That is correct, but the heaviest lift should be creating a program, which is a two-part action that you can start today and finish when you schedule the public hearing, which is part of the resolution that you'll set the public hearing date today. That is correct. The statute makes very clear you are not liable for any funds, and that should that collection process be necessary, the only thing McCrary could collect is the past due amount, because the future amounts stay with the land and haven't happened yet, just like you can't pay your taxes in advance. The statute makes very clear if that happens, you are entitled to attorney's fees, penalties, and interest, and all other costs should they occur. And our job is quality control. And if we're doing our job correctly, and then we have ensured that an independent engineer has validated that the savings will be greater than the cost over the life of this assessment financing. So these literally pay for themselves. If a property fails, it won't be over this program. But you are covered, and you are never expected under the statute or the contracts to be responsible for any costs. And if you should incur costs, you're entitled to repay.
Oh, say that again?
You never touch the money, and you're not
So
responsible
let me ask
for
you
the
a
money.
question. The company that we use, whether it be Limestone, McCrary, whichever company we use,
The
whereas
statute covers that property is liable to cover all of your attorney's fees, penalties, interest, and any other costs like court costs or whatever.
We had zero financial exposure.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Correct.
And so if I understand it correctly, there's steps we have to do to implement this.
So you have posted the report on your website so the public can see how the program would work. At the bottom of today's resolution is a place where you fill in the date and time for a public hearing. And so that it's important that you do that, and then the public hearing actually be set, and almost every, I think all but one local government has done it in the next meeting or in a future meeting. And then the program can be created the same day.
Well, I think the next thing to do is put on the next agenda then, would you recommend?
Yes, sir, but it's important that when you adopt this resolution today, it has the date and time of the public hearing set.
So, that being said, what we would have to do is, if we want to go forward with this, we would have to do this resolution here, and then also in that motion state when we're going to have the actual open public hearing
Yes, sir.
Which should be our next meeting.
in the next meeting. Have y'all had a chance to read this resolution?
Yeah, we're not committing to it until after we have the public hearing.
That's
We're
correct.
committing to the resolution, and then it's not official until we have the public hearing.
It's actually another step. So the statute wants, that you've done this with the report to let the public know that you're considering the program, and that's the point of this resolution today. Here's the report, we're thinking about doing this, we want to hear from you at the public hearing. Then the statute says the next step is the public hearing, followed by a resolution to establish the program. And then if you would like Texas Pace Authority to administer it for you, then we would need approval of a services contract allowing us to do that. And so there would be 3 agenda items at the next meeting.
Where does this money come from?
We started out with foundation funds, the Meadows Foundation, Dallas, Rockefeller Brothers Fund, and the Environmental Defense Fund got us started so that we could create this best practices model program. We call it PACE in a Box, but it's all local governments that we currently serve follow the same best practices. So it's uniform across the state. Once we got it going, then we are funded by user fees paid by the owners of the properties that decide to use the program. So we know there won't be 100 projects here tomorrow, but by combining this program with the Dallas program, the Houston program, the San Antonio program, and El Paso, and then we've grown enough that we can scale so that we can be properly funded by projects across the state. And we've committed to everyone, and I'll say this publicly here today, that we will continue to lower our oversight fees as volume of projects increases, because we're never going to be big. We're not interested in being
case, what's the?
I move that we approve the resolution of intent to establish Limestone County Pacework.
You want to put that in your, you want to put that in your motion today?
And then so that would be August 27th, that we would have the public hearing on August 27th. I would say at 9:30, so we can.
Well, we're going to change when we do that. From what we found out, we can just put 9 o'clock, and then any meeting we have, we'll fit in there. So
So 9 o'clock on the 27th, we have the public hearing
Okay, we have a
about
motion.
this resolution.
I'll second that. We have a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That'll pass. So,
Thank you.
we'll, I guess we'll
See you on the
see you
27th.
on the 27th. And, you're more than welcome to, excuse yourself if you need to get on the road, but
Thank you.
you're also welcome to stay here for the next couple hours.
I hear you may have the fastest meetings out of all 254 counties.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and skip item number 11. Matt said that we need to go ahead and hold off on that for a second. So let's go to item number 12 and discuss take action on approving the holiday schedule for 24-25. It's basically the same as we had last year, unless y'all want to add or subtract from it. I entertain a motion to approve. Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, let's, if you don't mind, I need a motion to remove this next item off the table.
So moved.
License, got a motion? Second. And a second. All in favor, say aye. And that'll be, we'll take, that's off the table now. Now let's talk about discussing the actual driver's license office. We've got an interlocal agreement with the EPS office. Just to let you know what happened, in our office out there, at the old jail. We had a lady from Waco come over and she wanted everything you can think of. I mean, the wording on the windows, everything they wanted Limestone County paper. And I balked a little bit at it, so she got her manager to come down here and agree to this agreement, but they're gonna take care of almost everything. You don't have to pay for anything more than what we've already done. So it worked out real good for us. I recommend that we enter into this interlocal agreement with them so that we'll have, because actually we didn't have anything on file. That's what I told them, show me something that shows that we have to do this. They come back and say, we don't have anything. So whatever happens. Anyway, they want to have this, and I read it, it looks good. I hope y'all read it. I need a motion to pass the, got a motion? Second. And a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that'll pass. All right, discuss take action on, on auction surplus equipment. We've got a list of surplus equipment that I think, Road and Bridge has submitted. I know I would like to visit about one of the items here. And Murray, I'm gonna ask you, as far as that truck that you had for the 04 Parker, is it still getting close to being where we can use it?
Yes, sir. Just actually got an email about that. They said that Al said he's working on it this morning, making sure everything's in working order.
And the reason being is that we have a truck here that's not good to use.
The motor got in.
Oh, the motor got it. Oh, never mind. That'd be a truck I could use. What's your pleasure about sending this stuff possibly to Jerry Lee Kennedy to have him auction it off?
I move that we put these items on this equipment list with Jerry Kennedy for auction.
I'll second. Got a motion in a second. Any other discussion on this item? All in favor, say aye. Item number 16 is discuss take action on a new dump truck. We've got a quote off the buy board. Hope y'all all had a chance to take a look at it. I just need to get a pleasure on that.
Can we talk about funding for it?
Sure.
Natasha, what, it's $188,197, and we know we can move some money out of the road material line, as we had, because we couldn't lay the roads in April, May, that we're gonna have a surplus left in there. But I would like to not drain that line. We have no idea what we'll get for that equipment. Is it possible to take it, and I'm asking, in other words, let's say we sell this equipment for $20,000. That $20,000, I would love to see what gets this truck. How would we go about that? Could we run that back into the line and do a budget change, take it out of equipment, put it back in road materials? I mean, we take it out of road materials for now and then put that back. And then how much do we have left in ARPA money that we gotta spend here for the equipment?
ARPA money, we're at around 20,000.
And this dump truck is certainly necessary because of all downtime we've had.
I'm just trying to get this report pulled up.
I'm just wondering if we sell this surplus equipment, and we put it back in the equipment line, and we pull the money out of the supply line, the material line, over to the equipment line, pay for the truck, and then we came back to the equipment line, we can put it back and bring it into the, do a budget transfer back into the material line if we need it.
If you need it.
If we get to the end of the year, if we get to September, James is laying roads every day, and we need it.
Yes.
I certainly don't want to short the material lines and the roads.
Because in your road material line right now, you still have $404,000.
Yeah, but we're laying roads every day now. We still got 6 weeks.
So,
You pulling 82,000 out for the bridge or nothing? Is that right?
yes, so take 82,000 out of that, because, the way our budget transfers go and everything, it has to go in numerical order, so we haven't been able to enter that one yet until some of these
So
other.
you're telling us 400 less 82?
Correct.
We're gonna have about $60,000 for the bridge.
Better budget on prison, I anticipate looking at prison.
We should be close to the, what we budgeted, which was the 200,000, and, have excess over that. You're not gonna have enough excess to do the whole 188 out of that.
Is there any money left in the equipment line right now?
Right now, there's not. But it is possible, I mean, we can do the move of the money, and then when the surplus is sold,
Move
put
it
it
back.
back in.
What if we took 150 out of that prison line? And the other 38 we moved out of road materials and then hope to recover that and equipment sale, put it back.
Are you gonna put then the equipment sell back into which line? Are you gonna put
Back
it?
into road materials.
So only put the 38 back into the road.
To pay the
and the excess
188,
go back
what if
to
we
the-
paid the 150 out of the prison line? And 38 of it, or 40, or whatever you need to move over there. Out of the material lines, over to the equipment line. And then, so that'd be 190, which you pay this 188. And then when we have to sell our surplus equipment, we can move that money back into the equipment. I mean, into the material.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay?
On the revenue, what are you showing as the amount of money that we are getting from the LCDC per diem? So are you showing around $400,000 a year?
It's averaging about 30 to 31,000 a month.
Let's do 30 then. So that's 360,000. And then you're budgeting
216.
216. So 360 minus 216. Have we used any of that money this year?
No.
So in all reality, we should have $144,000 available to us out of the per diem, out of the LCDC and not cost tax, county tax rate.
It's by the end of September.
By the end of September, which is just next month.
Yeah.
And what do you think about using that money in addition, if we're only about, what, $40,000 less?
Yeah, which is what, yeah, I move we move 150 out of the prison line to the equipment line for road bridge, and 40,000 out of the material line for road bridge over to the equipment line. With the understanding that when we sell the surplus equipment, we're gonna put that back into the material.
There's a motion, do I have a second? Have a second. Any other discussion on this item? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? That'll pass. Let's go down to number 17, and that's going to be to take action on addition of LCG 41.03 regarding the reporting responsibilities of Limestone County guidelines. And basically what we're doing is when someone, I tell you what, Zach, you're here. Tell us, you're kind of the reason we wanted to do this. Explain to us, before we get to your budget here, eventually, the reason that you kind of thought this was a good idea.
For the policy change?
Yes.
Yeah, so the issue that we come across is whenever employees are exiting, terminated, retiring, what have you, we're not getting notified like directly or instantaneously when it happens. So the security concerns around that are that we need to reset passwords and revoke access to email and network access to the users that are no longer with us. So that's really the reason why we need to make that change.
So moved.
There a motion?
Second.
And a second to approve it. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now let's get into some fun stuff here. Number 18 is presentation of the 2024 certified appraisal values. I have a lady that knows everything there is to know about this. Oh, there she is.
Okay, so in your packet, you should have the value comparison for last year. The second highlighted line, the total taxable value, that's what we use to calculate the tax rate. So that's what we're going to focus on today. This year's value was $2,794,347,551, which is an increase over last year of $216,053,075.
I move we approve this 2024 certified appraised value.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it'll pass. The next item, number 19, is presentation of the 2024 tax rate calculation.
Okay, so once I received those values, I took those along with other information needed to calculate the tax rate for this year. At the bottom of your governing body summary are those rates. The no new revenue rate total was 0.5480. Voter approval rate was 0.5759. And then this year we had a voter approval rate adjusted for unused increment rate. And what that means is because y'all managed the tax rate in prior years, stayed maybe above the effective rate, but below the voter approval rate. So the states allowed as us to add by using a formula for a few pennies to that voter approval rate. So your voter approval rate for the adjusted unused increment rate is 0.6290. That is the rate that you cannot go above. You can go to that rate, but not above this year, and not be required to automatically hold a rollback election. Just something new for this year.
And just for the public knowledge, our current rate is 59.7.
That is correct, yes.
You know what? In looking at the budget this year, I would feel real comfortable, although we've had some other expenses, we're trying to get people's pay up to a living pay. I would still think that we should, because of the taxable values, be able to at least reduce it by at least 1%. What's y'all's thoughts
Well, I
on that?
agree. Off that 59.7, we get out at 57.58. Once we finalize the expense.
Yeah, once that, and ideally it would be a good idea to propose the rate next meeting or next budget workshop. That way we can get things moving, make sure we meet those deadlines for publication.
When's the deadline for us to make a decision on the raises due to having to publish elected officials?
Natasha,
Elected officials have to be, it has to run for 10 to 14 days before you can adopt. So here pretty soon, in order to meet depending on when we're gonna adopt.
So if we make up our mind about the 3% raise, then we'll know what the public officials do. Go ahead and do
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
and,
any-
Florio County gave the commissioners a $3,000 raise.
well, that was nice of Florio
They
County.
got a lot of
One
money.
of the changes that involve taxes, 1,548.
I'm sorry.
That's what we can drop down to.
you could drop.
No, you couldn't, but you couldn't do the revenue.
What am I saying?
Couldn't do that.
The-
That's not what I said, I said everything's.
That's where your revenue would be to match last year with no changes, no.
Okay. So, actually, we don't have to take any action on this.
No,
So, thank you for the
be aware.
presentation, we've got that information. Item number 20 is going to be to go into an executive session and talk about personal matters that are ongoing. Based on the open meetings of Texas Government Code, Chapter 551074, I'm hereby declaring that we are in the executive session, and it is 9, I've got 9:27.